back, everyone. My name is Angel with Angelicious Dolls, and today I wanted to try something different. I know my channel is very new, but I realize with my most recent videos, I do not sound the best. I use a lot of filler words, and I also have trouble with pronunciations. I do have a lisp, and I do have a facial disability to some level, but as someone in the STEM field who is trying to become a public figure in that community, I am using this as practice to stop using the filler words such as, um, yes, I don't know, and things around that line. I don't catch them quite often, and I know that by practicing talking about things I get very passionate on, such as dolls, could be a good way to incorporate public speaking practice into my day-to-day career and job. That is what we are going to be doing today. This video is going to go unedited, so I can have it as proof to see how I am progressing in my goals. I have two other videos planned around this same topic. Today's topic is going to be tier ranking American Girl Disney dolls, collab dolls, and special edition holiday dolls. So, quite a big group, but it makes sense when you'll see my other two videos, which will be the Girl of the Years and Contemporaries, and a third video on historical dolls and their best friends. I am really hoping that this video does a little better, and it does actually help me break out of my bubble of public speaking and being a little bit more confident in what my personality actually is. So, let me not keep you folks much longer with just the rambling, and maybe we can see if we can get a counter on the screen for how many filler words I actually use. So I have a privately made tier chart. I don't know how to make it public yet. If I do find a way, I'll definitely leave the link in the description. But for now, this is just my special thing to play around with. So I did want to go ahead and start off fully with just the holiday dolls. We've had a few in recent years. I believe after 2020, the pandemic, it's become something that has been released every year. Now, with a doll in a white skin tone and a black skin tone being released annually. So, I don't know a lot of these, specifically the first four. I was unaware that these were released as they released around 2020, and I did not start collecting American Girl until 2021. I believe these were one-of-a-kind dolls, um, or at least very limited edition and very, very expensive. I don't know their names, but we'll just go ahead and go along with what we know for now. I believe this is just a standard holiday doll. I do know she was released in 2019. She's a standard Josefina mold, brown hair. Essentially, to me, she looks like a wedding day doll with her gown. It does give winter, but to me, it gives winter wedding rather than a winter princess, is the vibe I think they were going for. For her, truly, her face is a little basic, but I do like her outfit. So I'm going to put her in like Not judging though. She's okay. This one actually kind of hurts me a little bit. As you folks may know, if you see my All My Dolls video, I am a Sonali supporter till I die. I love Sonali. She's my favorite face mold, but I am not in love with this Sonali. I think she looks way too similar to number 67, and I do not like her outfit. I believe she's one of these very rare, maybe one of a kind dolls that were released in 2020. I don't know the vibe they were going for her because out of the three, she is my least favorite, which is saying something. So I like her, but I am judging this outfit. So I do have to put her in I'm judging, which does hurt my soul a little bit. The next doll, I have to be very honest. I like this doll a lot. I think it is a Josefina mold or a Marie Grace mold. I'm not sure. But from the pictures, it just looks like a fair tone Josefina mold with a long curly wig, and her dress is beautiful. It looks like she belongs in Lord of the Rings, and she's going to be the very first doll that goes into Amazing No Notes because as a Josefina mode critic, I would have gotten this doll. If this doll was mass market, I really would have tried because I think she is beautiful. The next doll in this trio, I believe it's the Jess mode doll. I think this one was called the Sweetheart doll. So I'm not quite sure if she was actually like a holiday doll or what, but we'll see. For her, I really like her outfit. I do just wish like her face was a little better. The website did not have great pictures. It's just one image. You really can't zoom in that well. So I don't know if she has on any makeup at all. I don't know if either of these three 2020 limited edition dolls did, but I do love her dress. And I really don't think we've had any other Jess Mold collector doll to like this degree. So she is quite unique, honestly. And with those things in mind, I do have to say that I would have purchased this doll, no notes, but I do wish there was some makeup, so I'm gonna put her in love, but because I think there's just a little something that's missing. Maybe Swarovski crystals, because we know that's what American Girl loves to do. Um, I'm just joking, by the way. I do not like their Swarovski crystal infatuation that they have with their most recent collector dolls, but that's not for me to say because I don't have the money to even purchase them. um, Next, I believe this is, I think the 2021. I think this is 2020 or 2021. Sugar Plum Fairy from the Nutcracker. Off the bat, I have to be honest. Purple is my least favorite color. I am not the biggest fan of the Nutcracker, and this doll does not appeal to me in many ways. And I honestly thought there was a Playline version of this doll, and I may just be confusing her for her herself, and that's not good, in my opinion, if you can't tell the collector from the Playline. So for her, I'm actually just putting her in just don't, just go away, because I could go without her. I don't know how popular she actually is, so we'll have to see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's a cult classic and I just haven't had my eyes open to her. I do have to say these next two dolls are some of my top tier favorites. I actually have one of them on my wish list for this year, and I actually owned one and regret selling one of them. And that's going to be the 2021 Winter Princess dolls. I think these are the dolls that started the correlation that American Girl has with their winter dolls now, where they are releasing two, a Caucasian and an African American skin tone. I think it's really good. I love that kids have the opportunity to purchase a doll that resembles them in more ways than one. And if that means by just getting a doll that has their skin color, that's really good. I would actually like to see them maybe release a Asian holiday doll. I think that'd be really unique. I do worry that if they do release an Asian holiday doll, if that means we would lose out on the African American doll for the year, because I know that they are never going to get rid of the Caucasian white skin mold, skin tone color for better language, because she typically is the one that sells out the fastest. But I do have to say, for both of these dolls, I think they're so unique. Even though I don't like the classic mold, I love the wig and the detailing on the 2021 princess. And I'm gonna have to put both of them in amazing, no notes, because I actively want both of these dolls in my collection right now. And that's saying something when I'm such a classic mold hater. So I have to give them their dues when they actually can impress me. And as someone whose favorite color is blue, I'm very shocked to say that this peacock glamour doll, or the doll based off of a peacock, is going into the just go away. I think this doll was poorly done. That does not mean I don't think she's pretty. She is definitely something for someone, but just not for me. And I really think they shot really high into the stars and they just kept on going and they didn't hit anything for me personally. But I really can't say much because I didn't have the money to purchase this doll and I could just be hating from the outside because I couldn't get in. So the next doll, I believe this is the Shivering Silver or something like that. But essentially, this is Daenerys Targaryen. They made a Daenerys Targaryen Game of Thrones doll, and they sold her off as the Winter Collector doll of her year. I think this doll is quite beautiful. I think this is one of the rare occasions where we've seen a fully monotone themed doll, such as the purple sugar plum, the blue peacock, and now we have the silver majestic wizard. And I think they blew it out of the park on this one. I would hunt this doll down if she wasn't so expensive, and I just love her so much. That is to say, I have heard some comments about her dress that is not the best material, and some of her accessories actually scuff the vinyl pretty badly. I don't know if that's just secondhand rumors. As we know, I couldn't get into the club. I'm just hating from the outside. But for her, I'm actually going to put her in love. I think she's really well done, but I don't have any firsthand experience with her. And off the bat, I maybe wouldn't have made her so white. I maybe would have given her a more, you know, unique haircut rather than just the long white hair. I think maybe she would have benefited from a more extravagant braid updo. But again, she is a doll that's meant for kids, so I can't really ask for much when it comes to that. Next, we do have the F.A. Schwartz Nutcracker doll. And in comparison to, oh wait, no, I think this is the Toy Soldier Nutcracker doll. It's one of the two. It's either Toy Soldier or Nutcracker. Someone please let me know. But for this doll screams Christmas to me. I'm sorry. FAO Schwartz, that company always comes out with great Christmas stuff. I love Christmas so much. I am hunting this outfit down. I am not the biggest fan of the doll per se. I think it's quite a generic doll that anybody can make with a simple eye swap. I know her wig is quite unique, and I have seen some collectors here who have the doll herself, and I think she looks better outside of the outfit than she does in the outfit. So for that, I am just gonna have to go ahead and put this doll in amazing, no notes, because just because the base doll isn't my cup of tea doesn't mean the base doll isn't beautiful. But this outfit shines far above. I love her so much. I hope I can get the outfit one day. So if there's anybody selling the outfit, please hit me up on Instagram. I'd be more than happy to talk. Um, After the FAO Schwartz doll, I don't think we got another holiday doll until the 2024 Pink Stardust doll. This is the first Claudie collector doll, I believe, because I think Tiana came after her. But I love this doll. I have this doll, and you can see her ranking and my thoughts on her in my All My Dolls video that's going to be up soon. But I do have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of this outfit, and this is going to be the first time where I think I'm separating the winter dolls because I do think the Claudie doll outshines the Josefina mold, but not by much because the outfit is a downgrade. I do not think the outfit is to the caliber that we were expecting for that year, and it's very hard to make pink a holiday color. I wish American Girl would take some risk, maybe throw in like a blue snowflake doll or like a green Christmas ornament doll. Um, they did finally do gold and yellow tones, which I'm really happy about, but this pink was just not my cup of tea. I was actually quite disappointed when I saw them, and um, I bought my doll and immediately sold her outfit. That's how much I didn't like it. But I do have to say, the Claudie Moon, I love her. But for that outfit, I can't justify purchasing another one. And for the Josefina Moon, I think this is just Lila in a really long wig. And that honestly doesn't rub me the right way because, as we know, like 2024 was the year of Lila. Um, so, it doesn't really make sense to have two Lilas if you're trying to get Lila's sales up. And we do know that Lila interrupted Kavi's year, so it has to go. Was saying that I'm judging this doll. I just think they really could have done something different. Maybe they could have given us a different mold with a different skin color and actually broken some barriers. But we know that they love to make a quick buck, and they did make a quick buck because they made, I think it was 10,000 of the Caucasian skin mold and only 3,000 of the African American skin mold. And consumers did not really enjoy the African American skin mold this year, so she's still available on the website while her white counterpart sold out very quickly. So obviously she was very popular. But moving on to our most recent holiday collector dolls, we have the Glimmering Gold dolls. Straight off the bat, I don't need to talk about this. This blonde girl, she can get out the way because we have a star in the making. You know what? She's already been made, and that is the African American Glimmering Gold doll. She's on my wish list for this year. I talked about her quite a bit in my very first video, and I'm just going to keep it very simple. I think this doll is beautiful. They have chosen a Josefina face mold, which is very popular. I give them that grace, but they gave her a very nice skin tone that works very good with the intense gold and yellow themes that she has going on. And this doll is amazing. I want to purchase this doll so bad. I know she's no longer for sale on the American Girl website, but she is still on Amazon. And I am trying to get my finances in order because if I miss out on this doll, I'm going to be heartbroken. It's going to be an issue. Everyone will know as well. I'm making it everyone's problem. But with that, it closes off all our holiday dolls, and we can move on to what I consider to be American Girl's first major collab that wasn't the F.A. Schwartz doll, and that's their Disney collection. I do have some mixed thoughts on these Disney dolls. I do not know why we started off with collector dolls and then moved on to these Playline editions. We know there was some issues with the Frozen collector dolls selling out because we had already heard and had the rumors confirmed that there would be Playline Edition dolls coming, and we didn't get the Playline dolls until the collector dolls came out. And then the next doll they released was a special edition Cinderella doll when Cinderella had already had a Playline doll released for her. It's quite confusing. I personally think they were going to release a Snow White doll. The Snow White movie flopped, and they had to pick up the crumbs very quickly because American Girl's all about that money. I could be wrong. Maybe a Snow White doll will still come to us in the future, but I know there were a lot of rumors and speculation around that time that we were going to be getting a movie release doll, and it just never came to fruition. So, you know, not for me to talk on. As I say, I'm outside the club hating because I can't get in. These dolls are paywalled for me. Um, we do have to say though, some of these dolls are cute. I really did like the collector Anna. I like her a little bit more than the Playline doll. I think the hair is just a little bit nicer, and the outfit details, while they didn't change significantly, I do like the texture of the collector doll rather than the Playline doll. So they have done some good things. The first collector doll that I'm going to have to say, and this is a very unpopular opinion because this doll has had an injustice brought upon her, and that is the collector Jasmine doll with the Sonali face mold. I know people did not like the Sonali face mold on Jasmine. I think it was quite interesting to have the Sonali face mold, which was originally intended for an Indian character, be used for Jasmine, as that is her heritage. And I think she's so cute. I found her through Displain's very first YouTube video and fell in love immediately. And I have no notes. I would purchase this doll right away, but it seems that she's very rare. Those that have her do not want to give her up. I constantly see people reselling the Rapunzel and Belle that came out in this collection, and Yasmin is far and few between. So, with that, I have to say, she's amazing. I love this doll so much, and I will fight for her every day. I will defend her honor. Um, but next, we do have the Rapunzel collector doll. I think this doll's just okay. The outfit doesn't scream Rapunzel to me, it screams an interpretation of Rapunzel. I think her Playline outfit is better, and that's saying something because I still don't like her Playline outfit. I honestly don't like the Rapunzel dolls at all. I think the Marie Grace face mold was good, but there's just something lacking with the doll. I know her eye color isn't the eye color in the movie, and I have heard some people talking about how they've done an eye swap. I just don't think she's my cup of tea. And while I think she's much better than the dolls in her bottom row, I don't think it's by much. And she's going into I'm judging because she really, for me, was the least appealing doll from the three of them when they were released. Belle, I have some things to say about Belle. I know some people don't like Belle. I know some people love Belle. I could give or take Belle. I don't know. She's never held a strong connection to my heart, but I do think her doll is beautiful. I think this is one of the rare occasions where the Playline doll actually holds very well against the collector doll. And I am just going to put Belle in like not judging. There's not much to say about her. She really didn't make moves. She certainly sold well, but it was almost just like, okay, people have her. No one's really fighting for her. Then we have these two cursed girls. We have Elsa and Anna from Frozen, the collector dolls that stayed forever. These dolls were available for so long. People say Jasmine flopped. I really think the Frozen collector dolls flopped. People just weren't that excited for them because we had already learned about the fact that the majority of the Disney dolls would be getting Playline Edition dolls. So, with that, I can just only give my honest opinions. I love the Joss mode, it's one of my favorites, and I think Marie Grace works better for Elsa than it does Rapunzel, and I do like Elsa. I have just heard not great things about her hair and her costume overall. So for Elsa, I am going to put her in judging because I really can't say I would get Elsa given the opportunity due to how I feel about the doll's quality. But Anna, I think she's amazing. No notes. And I feel like I thought I was going to be more of a hater, but I actually like a lot of these dolls, so maybe that says something about me. But moving on to Cinderella, let's just let's just keep it moving. I'm judging hard. I don't think this doll should have been here. I think this doll should have stayed in the drawing room board. I would have much preferred a Snow White, a Merida, or a Mulan. I do not think this doll deserves to be released at this time. I think she was just a cash money grab, especially with how close her release was to the Wednesday release. I'm surprised they released two collector dolls from different licensing so close together. To me, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. But now we get to move on to our Playline dolls. I have a lot more positive opinion on the Playline dolls. I think they're really accessible. I think they're quite good. They do have some issues with their clothing, which is going to be the main factor in my rating for them because I don't have any outright negative opinions, except for maybe one or two of them. First, we are going to have Cinderella. I think she's quite good. She has the fairest skin tone out of any doll, I think. Maybe Elsa has her beat, but I apologies. I remember that Cinderella, when she was released, there was a big wave of people happy because she represented a large, pale uh, part of the community that at that time felt like they weren't being represented well. So for her, I'm going to give her dues. I'm going to put her in like, not judging. For Ariel, I really think this might have been one of the few dolls where I wonder why they didn't make her a Josefina mold. Josefina, I think, really fits Ariel's features a lot better than Nenea's does. Nenea has quite a stronger jaw than I think Ariel presents in the films, and I don't know how they could have changed her presentation to us. I don't really like her outfit, but how else are you gonna make a mermaid doll than how they did it? I just think she was a little lackluster. I've also heard not great things about her hair quality, and I've also heard some not great things about her clothing quality. So I am going to be judging, but I don't think she should go away. I think she has a right to stay and maybe learn from her actions. Next, we are going to be having Miss Tiana. Princess and the Frog is one of my favorite movies. I am going to be a little biased here, but I think Tiana is one of the best Disney dolls that we have. I think she has the Claudia mold. It's one of my favorite molds. I think it's really well done. And I think her outfits, even though they are very similar to the quality of the other dolls, her outfits are just a step above. Even her meat outfit, I think, is done much better than Cinderella's and Ariel's. And her other two outfits are on my wish list because of the quality that I have for them. Well, not the quality I have for them, the quality I see in them compared to the costumey looking fabrics used for Cinderella and Ariel. So with that, I do have to say, I do love Tiana. I think there could have been some improvements in the interpretation of herself as a doll, but overall, I love her. I'd be very happy to purchase a Tiana, no questions asked. Moving on, I actually have some good things to say about Rapunzel. I think the Playline Rapunzel has a much better wig. It's very Playline. You can do a lot with it. I've seen a lot of people already reuse it for re-wigs and things like that. But I think they improved. I think they took the over dramatization of her previous collector doll and toned it down to a more movie accurate doll. I am going to say this. I'm still not quite impressed. I think they still messed up some features on her and could have maybe improved with making her a Josefina mold rather than a Marie Grace. And they could have done a more movie accurate eye color. So for that, I'm going to put her in like, but judging. Like, not judging. Because I do like her more than I judge her. So I have to be honest with myself. Moana. Moana is one of my top 10 dolls in my collection. I think she's just perfect. I was so happy to buy this doll. Once she was announced released, I officially went and purchased her and her accessories. I remember I was on the phone with my best friend when I did it, and I was so excited. She was the Christmas gift to myself, so I have to say that Moana is amazing. I'm so afraid to take her out of her box because of how much I love her outfit. I think each piece is done so well, and the Corinne mold was a very unique choice for her. This is a doll I thought they would have gone with the Nanea mold, but it works. I really enjoy how Corinne embodies Moana's features in the doll, and I was very pleased, and I'm really happy to have her in my collection. And I would purchase another Moana just so I could have her and physically hold her and play with her and just have her in my own space rather than still in her box. Moving on to Belle, I do have much better feelings about this Belle rather than the collector edition Belle. I think this Belle is quite beautiful. She is on my wish list this year because of how impressed I was with her. I like her outfit a lot more than I like her collector doll's outfit. I think they try to lean too gold when they were doing the collector doll Belle rather than the striking yellow that I see in the film. There would be some improvements I would make to this doll if I were to get her, but overall, I'd be very happy if someone gave me some cash and told me to buy Belle. I would do it, no questions asked. So I do have to put her in the love but because she's not great, but I would still get her in a heartbeat. I don't have much to say about Elsa. My thoughts stay pretty much the same. I think Elsa and Anna are carbon copies of their collector dolls. So the only thing that I know that has changed is that their hair quality has improved a little bit. I know that the later releases have had a different manufacturer, and I think they're more accessible to play with. They don't feel as delicate as the collector dolls did because they don't have all these Swarovski crystals on them. But I still have to say, I really could have gone without another Elsa doll. So I am going to put her in the just go away. I know it's wrong, but I just really don't feel anything towards the playline Elsa. But the playline Anna, Playline Anna is going in amazing because I love Playline Anna. Playline Anna is also on my wish list this year, so there's that. I realize I say so a lot. Maybe we can add so onto the filler word counter because I think that would be a really good thing for me to keep track of. But oh, look at that. We have just finished the Disney dolls. I didn't even notice. I was so ingrained in what I was talking about. Now I just have the last few collabs that American Girl has done. These collabs are the Barbie collab, the Wednesday collab, the Wicked, and the new recently released K-pop Demon Hunters. I did not include the Share collab because no dolls physically came from that collaboration. And for this ranking, I only wanted to do the dolls. So I hope you can understand. First, we do have the Barbie doll, the doll that started it all. I love collecting vintage Barbies, specifically with the original face mold. I did not know this doll was actually out on the market as an American Girl doll collector. She flew very low under my radar, and I regret that so much. I would love to have this doll, even though she's a classic mold. I would have just ripped that wig off of her head, stuck it on a Josefina mold, and called it a day. Maybe I would have even stuck her on a Marie Grace mold because I think they embody her features a little bit better than the classic mold. But I love this outfit so much. This outfit speaks to me in ways that no other collector doll has. I'm so impressed with it. I love the presentation of the box as well. I think this doll was done perfectly, besides the face mold. But I would still buy her. So she's a love butt because I have to get over having another classic mold in my collection. It's so hard to escape the classic molds. I don't know how I'll continue to do it. And moving on, we then have the Peaches and Cream. And this is just like the Glimmering Gold. Goodbye. I could have gone without you. We need to talk about the star now, which is the African American version of the Peaches and Cream Barbie. This doll is so beautiful to me. I love her so much. I think the blue makeup on her skin color pops so well. Her wig with the highlights is so beautiful. I do not love her outfit. I think her outfit is a little extreme, but this base doll carries it for me. I want to get this doll so bad. So bad. I don't think as bad as I want the Glimmering Gold doll, but I would be very happy to own the African American Peaches and Cream Barbie. So I do have to put her in love, but because that outfit does hold me off. We now have the Wednesday collab. This doll, I don't really have much opinions on it. When I heard rumors on the Wednesday collector collab, I thought it was going to be based off of the Addams Family collab rather than the Wednesday TV show. I'm not the biggest fan of the TV show. I have seen it because I do like the main actress. It's just not my main cup of tea. I think the doll was done well. It was very well received. So I do have to give them props on that. I think she is a beautiful doll. She just doesn't really add anything for me personally. So she's just honestly going to be a very easy, like, not judging. Now I'm I do have to be quite egotistical to talk about this, but I love Wicked. I love Wicked so much. Wicked was my first Broadway play. I actually have a Wicked tattoo in commemoration of the first Wicked movie coming out, and I love the movie so much. I think it was a wonderful way for people to be exposed to Broadway musicals. I really don't have any notes besides who they chose to play the Wizard and Madame Morrible. I think those roles could have gone to better suited vocalists, but Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande blew that movie out of the park, and their dolls did the same. I am going to be honest, I did expect a Addie mold or a Quaddy mold for our Alphaba doll, but we actually got the McKenna mold, and I am surprised to say they did the best decision However, this mold looks just so beautiful. I know many people think it doesn't give well to Cynthia Erivo's likeness, but I think it does. I think the features are there to provide the transcendence that you would want in a doll of this caliber, and she's very immersive. I see this doll and immediately I want to put her on her broom and fly her around my room. That's how much I love her. I think Elphaba is amazing. As for Glinda, I don't know what else they could have done for her, as she is just a blonde girl, a white blonde girl. I know that's American Girl's favorite kind of girl, but for me, I do think her outfit is really nice. But for what we got with Elphaba compared to Glinda, I felt a little lackluster when I saw Glinda, so I am just gonna put her in like not judging. I feel like maybe they could have been a little bit more extravagant with her makeup or accentuating her features, or maybe even just giving her a more voluptuous wig. I don't know. I just know that either way, Alphaba was always going to be my top priority. She is a Grail doll, and if she's the last American Girl doll I ever get in my hands, I'd be happy to stop collecting as long as I had Elphaba. um, we are now leading on to the final dolls in this collaboration. They're very new, they're very fresh. I made a very quick, sloppy video talking about my thoughts on them, and that's where I realized how much I have filler words. So I really have to thank these dolls for making me want to become a better YouTuber and a better public speaker overall. But I do have to say, out of the three, I'm only in love with two. I would say go watch my video to learn my thoughts, but I am just going to give them here as well. I am in love with Rumi and Zoe, not so much Mira. If I were to rank them, I would definitely put Rumi in love, but because her outfit does leave something to desire, I mentioned some things in my video that I think they could have done better at. So definitely go watch it if you want to know my thoughts on that. But Rumi, she's just okay. I do love her. I can't say like she was my favorite character in the movie. She's just not my favorite doll interpretation. Then we have Zoe. Zoe is my favorite out of the three. I think she was the best out of the collection. Her features look amazing. I love the dress mode on her. I really don't have any complaints besides her shoes. I think they could have done a little better. So Zoe is amazing, no notes, because even with her shoes, I think they look amazing. And then for Mira, I think she's just a little basic for me. There's not much they could have done with her outfit, so I have to understand the limitations they had in front of them. She just doesn't speak to me the same way that Zoe and Rumi do, but I do want the three of them. I think the collection would look beautiful, and K-pop Demon Hunters was one of my favorite movies from 2025. It actually came out pretty close to my birthday, so I watched it on my birthday. So, yeah, I really think this movie was a great way for them to go into these dolls, but they did lack a little something with Mira. I think maybe a few more accessories would have been really the key point on making her outfit match the calibers of the other dolls. So that's what I can say. We have a clear view of what I like in a doll here. I do want to thank everybody. I don't know how bad this video would turn out. I am going to go in and see how I can implement a filler word counter. So keep an eye on that to see what the tally racks up, and let me know if you catch any filler words that I may have missed throughout this video. But I hope to make two more quite similar and maybe compare them so I can see how I have been improving with my public speaking and my cadence and my use of verbiage to better present myself to a public audience such as you folks, but maybe also in my career. I'll let you guys know if I win any awards after these videos for my public speaking, but I sincerely want to give a really nice thank you to the community. I have had some nice people reach out to me on Instagram, essentially just talk to me about the channel and that they're excited to see what I'm able to do. I feel the same way. I'm quite excited. And until next time, thank you so much. Please have a wonderful day and stay safe. Bye bye.